this land, what do you do it? Because I think a lot of people issue is, you know, oh man, the land just gonna sit there. A lot of people have an issue with patience. You know, patience is a virtue that nobody has. If everybody had patience, everybody would probably be millionaires, because one of the things I find, to become a millionaire, you have to have patience. It's called long-term planning. It takes patience. Nobody patience. You have the type of patience to wait 10 years, like literally plant a seed. Like if you wanted a avocado tree, I think avocado trees, they take like 5, 10 years to produce one fruit. You have to have that type of patience. People don't have that type of patience. But 10 years is like that. Before you know it, 10 years go by and you still in the same position you was in 10 years ago. If you would have planted an avocado tree, you would you would have a tree full of avocados and eating well. You know, you just have to have the patience to park some money somewhere and wait. If you would have parked $1,000 in Amazon in 2009, by 2019 you have over $100,000, maybe 1 million, with just $1,000. But people don't have that patience, and we think we have all the sense. Oh, I'm just gonna get this job and I'm gonna work 20 hours a day, 8 days a week, and make some money. And then what happens? You get sick, your car break down, you have a breakup in your relationship, now you depressed, life happens. You have to park somewhere, you have to park money somewhere, whereas no matter when life happens, because it's not if life happens, it's when life happens. No matter when life happens, you cannot touch that money for X amount of time. Okay? That's one thing that I love about land, is that it's not like the stock market or a lot of things. Whereas, if you want, you could just cash it out. Like if you wanted to cash out on your land, you'd have to sell it and go through a whole process and all that type of stuff. Or refinance it, go through a whole process and all that type of stuff. But even if you refinance it, guess what? You still have your land. Your only problem is gonna be if you sell it, right? But like I was telling Mr. Nadine from the beginning, when you look around, when you guys really open your eyes, because I know I see things differently from other people. Eventually, you guys will see what I see. When you look around, all the businesses, all the homes, all the basketball courts, football fields, um, everything you see is sitting on some land. Okay, everything you see. I don't know why people can't comprehend this. Everything you see is sitting on some land. Here's the thing: who owns that land? What family owns that land? Dang, that's Wendy's. What I wonder what family owned that Wendy's. Excuse me. I wonder what family owns that land that the Wendy's is sitting on. You know, you might see a townhouse going up. Dang, I wonder what family bought that land, owned that land, that townhouse going up. It's a matter of us realizing the number one thing, that will always and forever be here, no matter what, is land. Yahoo was a great stock at one point, but then Yahoo went down. Okay, y'all remember AOL? That was a great stock at one time. AOL went down. Sears and Roebuck, that used to be a great company. That went away. Everything you could think of. Eventually, Walmart would be a thing of the past. Probably Amazon would in 50 years or 100 years, Amazon will be a thing of the past. Okay? We'll probably have it to where we're buying directly from the manufacturer and it's coming straight to us, some type of thing. In the future we probably won't even have um cell phones because we could like they'll try to plant something in our brain to where I could talk to you guys through my brain, you know? But all companies will go away. All these cars we drive in will go away. Okay? Everything you could think of will go away. You know what's still gonna be here? Somebody say what's still gonna be here, no matter what. It's the only thing. We are us. Me, you. I hate to say it, Miss Nadine, Miss Margaret, Chris, Ron, Diaz. We will not be here 100 years from now. I hate to tell you guys. Maybe they'll have some technology. I'm not gonna say we not. Maybe they have the technology. But as it is for right now, 100 years from now, we will not be here. What is still gonna be here? What you might call it might not be here. Let me see. What what's that not grocery store, that restaurant just went out of business. Uh is it Benihana's or Red Lobster. Red Lobster. Y'all remember Red Lobster was the restaurant? I would never thought in a million years Red Lobster would go out of business. I would have never thought. Red Lobster went out of business. Everything's gonna be out, gone, kaput. Everybody you hate, they're gonna die one day. Everybody you love, gonna transcend one day. It make no sense sitting up there arguing with people you both about to die one day. Just go your separate ways. That's how I come to a point in my life right now. I don't want to sit on the street, argue with the police. Okay, write me my ticket. If I feel what some way about it, I'll go to court. Okay? I don't want to be in no relationship arguing. If it's not going to work, let's break up. I don't want to go to school and argue with the teacher. If I feel they're wrong, I'll just find a new teacher. We both about to be dead and gone one day. I'm not going to be sitting up in prison having an argument with somebody and shot them and killed them now sitting up in prison. That's not going to be my story. It's a lot. I don't have time to be selling drugs, risking my life to go buy some Louis, Gucci, Versace fancy cars. I don't get it. You risking your life selling drugs to go buy Louis, Gucci, Versace fancy cars, make them people rich while you sitting in prison, risking your life. I never could get selling drugs. But I get it at the same time. You got to feed your family for those that do it to feed their family. The only thing is going to be here 200 years from now is land. That's the only thing. What we have to do is, even the stock market itself has always been here, but the companies on the stock market have always changed. Okay? But now they're saying the stock market is going to change in a way that, and it has changed in a way that people can buy and sell it. Okay? Because you used to have to get a stockbroker and all that type of stuff. Now you can just go on your phone and buy and sell your own stocks instantly. Okay? So the way we do things is going to change. Everything changed. The only thing I see never change was the land. It's the only thing I see never changed. They might put a building up, knock it down. The land is still there. They might plant a bunch of fruit trees, a hurricane or disease come, take up all the fruit trees. The land is still there. Okay? They might build the road, dig the road up, turn the road the other way. The land is still there. They might build a bunch of houses, knock them down, build the road over where the houses were, which I see going on right now in a lot of places. The land is still there. No matter what, we got to come to a mindset that if we focus, no matter what job you have, if you have a job working a cashier, changing oil at Walmart, making $9, $10 an hour, you have to put $10 away every paycheck. You have to get to the point where you take $100 a month and you making your land payment. You paying something towards some land. That little piece of land that looks like trash, that you've been watching that land for 50 years sit across from your family house, or that raggedy piece of land that nobody looking at. 100 years from now, it's probably might be worth $1 million. You don't know. You don't know. I told y'all about the story, and Rwanda can tell you on 183rd and 27th Avenue in the 70s and early 80s, all that land was sitting there. Nobody would buy it. All that land was sitting there. Now, hundreds of millions of dollars for that land. Hundreds of millions. You can't buy it. Am I lying? Even Ron know.
You're correct.
Just 40, 50 years ago, you could have bought that stuff up. 30,000. 40,000. 100,000 back then was like $1 million. You could have paid 100,000 and sit on it 40, 50 years and have 40, 50, $100 million right now. Or not even sell it, just have a lease, lease it out to these companies to build their businesses there and still cash out $100 million in lease rents and still own the land. It's the one thing I keep trying to tell people. Yes, you can make money in stocks. Yes, you can make money in any business. Yes, you can make money in anything. But when you want to secure your money, you have to park it in land. They're not telling anybody. Amazon buying up a bunch of land. Y'all know Bill Gates buying up a bunch of land. BlackRock buying up a bunch of land. After they make all their money in the stock market, cryptocurrency, their business, Jeff Bezos make money at Amazon. What's his name? Bill Gates make money with Microsoft. Elon Musk make money with SpaceX and whatever he's doing, Tesla. They take a certain amount of their money and they see which land they're going to buy up next. That's how they preserve Microsoft. That's what they saying. Microsoft going to go out of business because other technologies coming out better than Microsoft. If Amazon fail, they know if they businesses fail at any point, their money secured in land. If the stock market fails at any point, if people eyes open, they know they have thousands and millions of acres of land. Okay? They know 100 years from now, their offsprings will be able to benefit because that 250 million that they spent on that piece of land is now worth 250 billion 100 years from now for their offsprings. I'm gonna tell y'all something else. Personally, I was talking to a guy, a military guy. He said this guy has money, have a nice big house paid off. He has a lot of land and stuff like that. I said, who do you do your life insurance policy with? He said, I don't have life insurance. It's a scam. I say, yeah, I know, man, but who do you use though? He said, again, I don't have life insurance. He said, you know what my life insurance is? The land. He said that's why he keep buying land. He said, why am I gonna take $100, $200, $300 a month, give it to somebody that company may or may not still be in business 50 or 100 years from now. They take that money, go buy land or invest in some business, make money on top of my money. Okay. Then when I die, only give my loved ones $100,000 after they done made millions of dollars. Why don't I just take that same money, buy some land, or invest in a business that's sitting on some land, like buy a storage business or whatever, but always make sure I own the land, even if the business go out of business. Why don't I take them that same money and just keep investing in properties and leave that to my offsprings? Leave that to them. And I'm like, man, you absolutely right. You absolutely right. Which I'm not speaking against life insurance, but I'm just trying to make a point. I'm like, you absolutely right. It's the most secure thing. You know, there are people that invested in their 401k, everything in their 401k, and lost everything. Everything. If they'd have put that same money, brought up 10 acres somewhere that you figured maybe 10, 20 years they're going to start a subdivision or development over there. Okay. In 10, 20 years, when you're ready to retire, that be about the time they're going to start subdivisions over there. You know, you're going to have your money. In other words, the land is a guarantee. The stock market is pretty much a guarantee. All that stuff is a guarantee, but the land is a guarantee. 200 years from now, 300 years from now. You see what I'm saying? Even if the prices drop, the land is still there. The land is still usable. But statistically, the prices have always gone up. Always gone up. They building homes in places now. I'm like, what? They building houses out there? When they started building up San Antonio, Texas, and a lot of them parts, I was like, oh my God. Phoenix, Arizona. I'm like, they building houses out there. That's crazy. But it's land. They're gonna build up the land. No matter how you don't like it, no matter how you cry about, oh, I could have bought that land, you should have bought it. You should have bought it. You know, it's something that, again, patience. We live in an instant society where we feel like we have to have everything right now, and that's what's keeping everybody broke. You have to have patience. The type of patience, again, like I say, it take about 5-10 years to grow an avocado tree. But you plant the avocado tree, leave it alone, just go back and water it. In 5-10 years, you'll have, if y'all ain't know anything about avocado trees, some of them bear so much avocado you can't even eat all of them. You got to give them away. You have to. Am I wrong? It's too much. Mango tree is too many. You take $1,000, you put down on your land, you make your little $100, $200, $300 a month payment. You wait 5-10 years. I'm telling you, even if you don't sell the land, you do what we're gonna talk about tonight. You set up a business on your land. Now you're like, dang, what kind of business can I set on my land? Again, look around you, what I said from the beginning. Now, when you start driving around, look around you. There go a Wendy's. There go a laundromat. There go a shopping center. Um, there go a movie theater. There go a subdivision. You like, dang, that raggedy piece of land. Look at that beautiful subdivision now. You couldn't see it before, but somebody saw the vision. Y'all ever drove by somewhere and said, dang, I can't believe they put that there. A beautiful shopping center. Man, that was a raggedy piece of land. I'm telling you, especially for us older folks, we done seen it multiple times, and we keep missing out. It's time for us to stop missing out on these things.
That's correct.
We have to have the patience to wait 5 years, 10 years, 20 years. If we do it now, 5, 10, 20 years, man, we're going to be laughing so hard at everybody that didn't do it. Like they say, when was the best time to buy? Yes, 20 years ago. Yes, 5 years ago. When's the next best time? Right now. Right now. We have to learn how to be patient. We have to learn how to budget. We have to learn how to make sacrifices. It's You are not going to get rich on no job. I tell everybody right now, I don't care, you make $100,000 a year, you're going to spend $120,000 a year. You make $10 million a year, you're going to spend $20 million a year. It's just something in us, no matter how much money we make, we still end up spending more. So it's not what you make, it's what you can invest in. It's not even what you save, because when you save your money, $100 last year is $75 this year. You cannot save your way to wealth. You have to invest your way to wealth. And what they're not telling you is it's not houses. It's not the stock market. All these things are number 2 and 3. The best way to preserve your wealth in a way that you don't have to fix nothing, you don't have to worry about it, just let it sit there, and the inflation alone will keep up and build, the equity alone will build, is land. I'm watching right now in Fayetteville, North Carolina, all these old raggedy pieces of land being turned into subdivisions, and I'm looking it up, right? And I'm seeing how much just the land is worth. 1.2 million, 2.3 million for a little acre of land, 2-3 acres of land. I'm like, what? And you know somebody ain't paying nothing but $10, $20, $30,000 for it 20 years ago, 10 years ago. Now they just sold it for 1.2 million, 2.3 million. It's the biggest secret. It's the biggest secret. So when you traveling around, open your eyes. Say, man, look at that storage place they just put. Y'all ever drove by somewhere and see a storage place go up? And you say, dang, that was a raggedy piece of land. They put a whole storage facility there. Prisons. Sometimes prisons, they put them way out in far out areas. You may think ain't nothing coming out here no time soon. Next thing you see, a whole prison being built. Even where they doing all these space experiments, way out in the desert. All them people that own all that land out there that's sold probably got a lot of money. Them solar fields out there that they have, those people making money from them solar companies. Okay? I'm experiencing it myself with my Airbnb business. I never thought in a million years I could just own some land and people pay me to come park on there and hang out. I would have laughed at somebody that told me that. Because I'm thinking, oh, you gotta have this nice, beautiful RV park with a pool over here and this and that and the third. No, people come and they like, I'm like, oh, I got trees down. They like, I love it. That's what I want to do. I want to come out there and chop. I had a guy come out there and clean my yard. He cleaned about an acre, put all the brushes and everything in the front of my property. A young guy too. He said, "Man, this how I relieve stress. I just need to get away for about a month." His first week there, he cleared my land for me. I couldn't believe it. I could not believe it. You got people that train, boxers, athletes that train. They just want to get away in the woods. You got people with money. Half my guests that come there, I speak to them. These are affluent people, established people. If not 80% of them, these are not broke, bummy people. These are affluent people. And now they have this thing called glamping, where you pretty much just set up a cabin, throw a nice bed in there, and throw a nice jacuzzi outside, and you don't really need anything else. You don't need no TV or nothing, and you charge $100 a night, and people will flock to you. Flock. That's the next thing I'm setting up right now, is a straight glamping site where it's still primitive. They see nature and everything like that. It's still off grid, but you have like a cattle trough that you turn that into a hot tub by you know using wood to to boil the water, okay? And you basically just you know bring your water in, and put your tablet in there. Your bacteria, kill whatever bacteria in there, and then people go in a hot tub. You know, there's so many ways to make money just with the land. It's not just putting a house on the land. They say buy the land, build a house. Yes, that's like the number one thing, because everybody needs somewhere to live, and it's very easy to sell a house. But you do not have to start off with that. You do not have to start off with 100, $200,000 investing in building a house. You don't have to. You literally do not have to. Okay? I'm gonna share screen. All you guys have to do is this. And I don't even think that oh, I'm on the wrong phone to be doing it. Oh yeah, no, okay, I got it on this phone, I think. Okay. So like this is one of my listings, right? But we're not even gonna focus on that. Um, I wanted to do this. Switch to traveling. So I'm gonna pretend that I'm a traveler. You guys see the screen, right? And people go to like Airbnb. See, now it's so popular that you can book experiences. Okay. And it's not just a hotel or anything like that, or a house, but you can book an experience. So what people do now is they like booking experience. So you could do something as simple as get some horses. Okay, we gotta pick a location. Let's choose somebody give me a location where you want to buy land. Um Somebody give me a location where you want to buy land, or where you have land already.
Jasper, Florida.
Okay, let's go to Jasper, Florida. Okay. Oh shoots. Let's go 2 adults. 2 young people. Okay. And you want to experience, right? So look at all these experiences in Jasper, Florida. All these, this is what people, when they type in Jasper, Florida, this is what pops up. Now you want to find the type of lodging, right? So see how you see it say cabins right there? And that just popped up because cabins are the number one thing right now people are booking. You see the prices? Y'all see the prices? $260 for 5 nights. Y'all see this? Now, how much y'all think it costs to build this? Well, this is a really nice one. Oh my God. This probably costs as much as a house. This pretty much is a house. But y'all see the price though. $260 a night. Let's go to a cheap one here. Oh, this taking me to Fayetteville. Why this? Okay, let's go to Jasper, Florida. I don't know why I did that. I could go to Jasper, Florida like this.
Try typing it in at the top where it says where to.
Okay, let me type it in. Jasper, Florida. Let's go 17 to the 19th, 2. Okay, you guys don't need a lot of money. Then you type in if you want to self-book, instant book, a hot tub. You type in the amenities. I want to type in camping. Okay, here. Any type room, entire house. So let's do any type. We're gonna leave it that open. Could be one. Okay, let's search. Okay. Still need to type in. Filter. Where is I don't know why it's doing this. Okay, cabins, and then let me see. Okay, cabins. Okay, here it is. So Jasper, Florida is around here. And I hit the cabin button. And there's a little cabin right here. Okay. Look how simple that is. Simple life. This is nothing but something that somebody went and purchased for about $200-300 down, paying $200-300 a month. They went and spent about $3,000 to build it out. Okay, so altogether they might have about $5,000 in it. But look how much money they got. 410 reviews, 4.9 rating. Five, it's $96 a night. Okay. So every 5 nights they making about call it $400. Say after, Airbnb fees, they making about $75 a night. That's $75 per night per cabin. If you got 10 of them, that's $750. Okay? You hire a housekeeper if you don't want to physically do the job. You hire your son, your daughter, nephews, nieces, neighbors if you don't want to do the cleaning. Okay? You don't have to have $100,000, $50,000 to do this. Okay? This is the easiest, simplest business to start. Let me see if it's gonna do it for me now. It's still gonna pop it up, but not. Okay, it's still gonna pop it up like that. But you guys kind of get the idea. It doesn't cost a lot of money. You might not have the money right away, but the key is to get what? The land. Look at this raggedy piece of land that this cabin's sitting on. It's just a piece of land, right? But somebody put this little cabin on there and they making money. They are making money. So it's no reason, and this is a big thing. This is not no little thing. This is a whole movement. Okay? This is not no little thing. Trying to see something. Oh my god. Okay, so these are probably gonna be like some luxury.
Yeah, I think the biggest trick is having someone, like you said, the cleaning. But
Right.
there's also people that can manage your Airbnb for you.
Right.
And for 2%, and they'll do all of that. They'll make sure, because like when you have those guests coming in and out, you do need somebody getting in there professional, because sometimes them family members, they are not going to cut it. Like, you can look at their bedroom and be like, oh no, you're not about to clean this Airbnb good.
Exactly. At all.
So you got to make sure. So I would definitely say it's just easier to give somebody a manager 10% and let them handle that.
Yeah. And once you have it, once you have the land and once you have the structure, it's real easy to find somebody on Airbnb that's doing the same thing, because they have a whole thing in the Airbnb system where they'll find the managers for you. There's a whole thing in there. So if see, these are popular. These A-frames, like look at this one right here. This little cabin right here. They just put some nice chairs around, a nice fireplace, some sand. Simple little things like this, guys. Simple little things like this. It doesn't cost a lot of money. This is so cheap. This doesn't cost a lot of money. These little structures don't cost a lot of money at all. And these things are making more money, believe it or not, than renting a house. You could actually charge more for these than what you would charge to rent out your house. This little simple one right here probably costs you about $5,000. And they make these on payments. You could put down, this is actually one that I'm getting, and I think it's like 200 down for these and 200 a month for these little ones right here like this. It's just an A-frame. You put your couple beds, a wood stove, like how they got it right there, and that's it. And at this place, they got a bunch of them. That's a shower place right there. But literally, you could have this whole setup put down on your land, put this thing there. You know, go cut your grass. You can have this whole setup for like $2,000-3,000 and make that money back within a few months. And then everything after that is paying for your land and paying for your cabin and paying you. And then you keep making money and keep putting them out there. And you're financially free. This is what I'm doing. I'm personally doing this. Okay? This is how I'm able to sit back and relax and virtually not really do much. I still work my little 9 to 5 as a contractor, but you know, that's not something I have to do, and it's not something I do all the time. I might do contracting work, 1 month, 1 week out the whole month, you know, altogether. I might work 40 hours a month contracting. Okay. Like my place, this is one of my listings right here. It's just the land. Okay. And this is all I'm renting. I take pictures of the area, the restaurants. This is my backyard right here. This is the creek that go all the way out to the Albemarle Sound. That's the Albemarle Sound, my backyard right there. Okay, this barbecue spot right here. This is a cabin that I had on my land, but I took it out because I'm getting the new cabins out there. That's a hardware store. I put a shovel right there. That's a shovel. Little campfire thing. You know, couple chairs. No big thing. Show them where they could go get ice. Some other restaurants they could go to. The food in the area. Some disclaimer stuff. Letting them know no power, no electricity, no water on property. Bring your bug spray. Some more pictures of my land. Another cabin on my land, and that's it. I charge between $33 a night, give them a discount if they stay weekly or monthly, and that's it. Okay, since 2022 on this, I have two Airbnb accounts. I'm telling you guys, this is a real thing, a real business. And then from there, what you do is my battery's on 5%. I'm a switch phones to my other phone. Um but I'm telling you guys, once you are once you are having the land, sky's the limit. The key is to first acquire the land. None of this is possible. No business where you live right now, you cannot possibly live there if it was not land sitting there, unless you live out on the water somewhere. Somebody made a lot of money and making a lot of money from where you live. I don't care if you own your home, the mortgage company, the bank making a crap load of interest off your mortgage loan. Okay? Um if the land was sold to you, the property was sold to you, somebody made a bunch of money selling you that property. If you bought it cash, any transaction that have to do with real estate, somebody's making a bunch of money. Okay? Now sometimes people lose or whatever, but for the most part, people are making a bunch of money. And the people that lose in real estate are the people that don't stay in it long enough. Or, dang, I bought that thing for 300,000. Come to find out, it's got Chinese drywall and all this crap, and it's not worth fixing up. So they give up on it and they sell it for what they could sell it for, and they go start another project. But the investor that buy it from them see a vision, make it happen, and you like, wow. You know what I'm saying? Like I was watching something with Chris Haskins, and the lady brought a house. It turned out to be a real tear down. Like she shouldn't even paid for the house. She should have paid just land value. And it turned out to be a tear down, is what she should have did. Just tore it down, build a new house. Okay. I was in the comments. I was like, she could still tear it down. But instead of building a house, why don't she build a fourplex? Why, you lost some money. So to regain your money, build a fourplex. You know, build a build a duplex, put two houses. Simple as that. It was enough space to do it. As long as the land is there, anything is possible, guys. You can retire. You can have residual income. You don't have to have this big bunch of money and pay a bunch of money to fix your credit and wreck your brain trying to work 20 hours a week and go through all this craziness to buy a house, to rent it out, to flip it, to rehab it. Do you guys see me do videos of me rehabbing and flipping houses? No, because I mean, I do it and eventually I'm going to do it, but that's not my thing. I'm not wrecking my body, wrecking my brain to do that. Okay? My thing is the simplest thing, which we have this thing called cabins and tiny houses and just renting the land. That is my thing. That's what I recommend to people, but you could do what you want as long as you get the land. You cannot lose. You cannot lose. It's too many examples we can make where if we would have bought this piece of land or that piece of land 10, 20, 30 years ago, we'd be in a position right now sitting on 100, 300,000, $1 million. There's too many examples. And I'm not even talking about the house. I'm just talking about the land because the land is cheap. It's a cheap entry point to acquiring land. It's cheaper than acquiring a house. It's less maintenance. It's no maintenance with land. Okay? No maintenance. Just let it sit there. Pay your only maintenance is paying your taxes every year. All right? And putting up no trespassing. You got some signs, no trespassing signs. You already warning people, no trespassing. So they go on that land and trip and fall. That's their business. You got a whole sign up there, no trespassing. Put them all around your land. Ain't nobody supposed to be on that land. And you sit on it. If you don't want to put a business on it, a camping business, a storage business where people can park boats, cars, extra cars, RVs, all that type of stuff. If you don't want to put that on your land, then you just sit on it. The equity alone is ridiculous. It's ridiculous. But say you don't get any equity, something happened, the economy crashed, whatever, whatever. If that's the case, 9 times out of 10, you lost your job, you lost your income. The house you living in might be renting, you might be renting it. You're about to get kicked out. Or the house you living in, you might be paying a mortgage and you can't pay the mortgage, you want to sell the house. Go live on your land. Go and live on your land. You cannot lose with the land. You cannot lose with it. All right. But it takes a certain type of vision to see it and a certain type of drive to go execute it. No matter how I say, no matter the examples I give, It's many teachers out here, many people out here always been saying the same thing, but it's up to us to get up and do it. We have to realize that no matter how much people tell us, if we don't get up and do it, go make the sacrifices, whatever we need to do it, another year will go by and you'll still be, oh, I'm going to go do that. Oh, I'm going to go do this. One of the greatest things that ever happened to me was being evicted and kicked out of where I was staying. Because I was just doing the same thing year after year after year, working hard, paying the rent. Finally, I had no rent to pay because I was kicked out. I was still making the same money I was making, but now I didn't have to um, pay rent. My thing, I was always in fear of what people would think of me. I'm living in my car. What people, how would I live in my car? Stuff like that. I was always in fear. And I'm not telling nobody to live in a car, but once I did it, and once I was out there, um, basically camping, permanently camping, it wasn't so bad. And I saved my money and I was able to spend more times with my son, and I bought a piece of land and I took off, I've been taking off ever since. My only thing was I wish I would have did it sooner in life. I wish I had a mother, father, sister, brother, somebody that would have sat me down and explained to me what I'm explaining to y'all. That is my only regret in life, is I would have did it sooner. I don't have any other regrets in life. Any other. It made me financially free. Okay. It made me have a place to live. If all else fails, I could just live on my land, build some cabins, sell them, grow my own food. I could survive completely on my land. All I need to make is $680 something a year to pay my taxes. I got water on my land. I got everything on my land. Everything I could possibly think of is on my land. Okay? So I'm telling you guys, it starts there. It starts with the land. If you have nothing else in life, you have to have the land. And Margaret is doing something wonderful. I hope she don't mind me sharing, but she's investing in the next dynasty. Okay? Africa, the motherland. That is the next biggest, hugest thing. Like, you think what China did was with manufacturing and building back up China was spectacular. Y'all wait to see Africa in the next 10, 20 years. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. But anywhere, be honest with you, anywhere in America, Africa, a lot of places in the next 10, 20 years about to really explode. But I'm really seeing Africa as a wonderful, wonderful investment. Now, I don't know anything about investing land in Africa. Y'all got to get with Margaret about that. But the principles that I teach, you know, it's the same principles, you know, as far as having the land, building a house, Airbnb in it, or putting a business on the land for the land to cash flow and pay for itself. Because the other thing that I always tell you guys, once you put that initial investment with your down payment, you pay on it for a few months, a year, until you put a business on it. Once that business is making money, remember, you're not paying on that land anymore. The business is paying off that land and paying for itself and paying you. So this is not something that you like, dang, I got to pay on this thing for 3, 4, 5 years, 10 years. No, immediately start to think and implement a plan to build on the land, a business within a year. So basically you only coming out the pocket for 1 year. You only coming out the pocket for 1 year. After that, it's paying you. After that, it's paying you. Even if it's 2, 3 years, you coming out of pocket, building up and doing what you need to do. After that, it's paying you. But it's the best investment you will ever make. Oh God, it's the best investment you'll ever make. You guys have any questions? Any comments? Any questions? Any comments? No? Well, that's all I got for you guys for tonight. That is it. Okay? That is it. What we're gonna do, what we're gonna do is oh, you know what? Let's go over no, because my battery's dying. That's why I'm ending class a little early here. But that's what I got for you guys for tonight. All right. So go ahead. Go ahead.
I guess on Sunday, I missed that meeting on Sunday. It was you went over that property in Elizabethtown.
No, we didn't do that one. We didn't do that one. We didn't go over it. We'll probably go over it next class or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah. That's going to be a move that we're going to make, guys, together. For those that want to get into it, that's something you got to have patience on. We're going to sit on it until somebody come knocking and want to pay us some good money. But I'm telling you, next 5 years, 3 years to 5 years, they're going to really gentrify that area and come into that area. It's already happening. It's already happening. All right. And we could get that piece of land for about $4,000 or $5,000. So you're gonna have to. Everybody gonna put. We're gonna divide it up, $500, $1,000, and just sit on it. Okay. But that's something that, again, your future self gonna thank you. Even if that $1,000 turned to 5,000, that's $5,000 you would have probably threw it away. Okay. So we have to invest like that. We invest for a year from now. We invest for 5 years from now. We invest for 20 years from now. We invest for 50 years from now. We invest for our offsprings for 100 years from now. That is how we invest. We cannot just think about, oh, I'm going to buy a house and I'm going to sit on that house and I'm going to pay 30-year mortgage on the house and think about ourselves. We have to think about if we lose our job. We have to think about if we there's Emma, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
We have to think about if we lose our health. Okay, that was a big scare for me when I had my surgery in 2023. Okay, I'm like, oh my God, I cannot do anything for 2 weeks. I cannot make any money. Thank goodness I was already making some money. All right. And then thank goodness I had land. Because I had land, I was able to borrow against it. I was able to borrow against my land. Thank goodness. If it wasn't for that, I don't know what I would have did. I would have been in the hospital, probably lost my job for not me personally, because I'm a contractor, but most people for being in the hospital, they would have lost their job. We have to think about these things. We have to think about our health. If we lose our health, if we lose our income, we have to think about our future a year from now, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 50 years, 100 years from now. We have to stop this mindset of get up, work, and we're always going to be able to work. We're always going to have the same income. We always going to have promotions on our job. We always going to have jobs. Right now, we're in a time where they taking the jobs. They taking the jobs. It's no joke. A lot of people wasn't ready for 2020. I wasn't ready. Instantly, overnight, no jobs. If it wasn't for the type of government we had giving out $1,400 and saying, oh, nobody don't have to pay rent. If we was living in a communist country or somewhere like that, a lot of them people living in them communist countries, they had it bad. The government wasn't giving them no money. Did y'all know that? They had it real bad. You know, in Jamaica, you know, people just was carrying on like normal, you know, because they didn't have a choice. They didn't have the luxury of staying home. You know, everybody just carrying on like normal, just wearing a mask, you know, just wearing a mask, trying to keep it down. These you know, people don't have the luxury to staying home. But I'm telling you guys, you get the land, you try to take your time within a year, 2 years, 3 months, 6 months, develop the land, just cut the grass, lay some nice rocks around. Y'all saw the Airbnb where they had the rocks around, they had the chairs around. That's cheap. That's less than $500. You know, when they pull up in their car, they can get out their car, sit down, have a nice campfire, and go back in their car and rest at night. Set up a shower tent. I'm telling you, it's money in this. It's not no little money either. It's real money. That's all people want. Thank you. That's all people want. Some serenity, some peace and quiet, some tranquility. People don't, even me myself, when I travel, I'm literally just looking for a place to park. Like literally, I want a nice place to park. I'm not looking for no hotel or nothing like that. Just if I'm with Emma or the family, somebody, I'm looking for to accommodate them. But when I'm by myself, I'm just looking for somewhere to park where they have a lake or water, um, something in the area, nice that I could, you know, have peace. And when I get up, I hear crickets at night and frogs at night and birds when I get up chirping and stuff like that. It's a lot of people like that. A lot of people like that, you know. But yeah, guys, any other questions? Any other comments?
So, Shan, this is Ron. I have a question in reference to the platform that we're using.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you said Margaret has been to Africa. I've been over there to Ghana myself. So, am I able to contact her to discuss something? Edwina, I believe her name is Edwina, who mentioned Jasper, Florida. Is she from that area or what?
No, I'm not from that area. Sean taught me about buying land down there from RINA, RINA land. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yeah.
And Brandon taught me about that.
Okay.
Yeah, you guys know you're welcome to speak and teach. You know, if you guys, Margaret, if you want to.
We're getting ready to go in May too.
Are you planning your own trip? Or are you going with a group, or are you like in a group?
I'm not going with the group this time. It's about 4 of us going.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because are you familiar with Africa for the Africans, Bumani?
About the money?
No, there's a gentleman out of Atlanta. He normally has a tour agency that goes throughout Africa.
No, I have a group that I go with, and they're going again in July, and they're going in January. I just don't want to go because they're going to Nigeria, and then they're going to South Africa. And it's a great trip. They do a tour, but I'm building a house, so I need to go over there and kind of oversee the houses getting ready to get started.
Yeah, you got to be on that because you got to have some dispense in the cash, and they bill as you send the money, and
Right.
you giving the money to bill with.
Right. So I want to be there as it starts.
So what size is your plot over there?
About 273 by 100, and one is two other plots. I think they're 80 by 80. One's in the country,
That's
Cape
one.
Coast,
Yeah.
and one's in Pram Pram. Pram Pram is about 39 miles out of Accra. It's about 10 minutes from the beach, though.
Yeah. The last time I went, I was in private properties. But let me ask you this question, because I haven't been since 2016. Find a lot of Orientals over there developing, doing everything else over there, right? And a lot of Indians.
Not where I'm going.
You outside?
Yeah.
Okay.
But that's true. That's true. They're going over there sucking up everything too.
Yeah.
They need to kick them out. They need to kick them out. But the land is so cheap there, you guys. You should buy some and just hold on to it because you might need to get out of this country one day.
Dual passports. You're exactly right.
Right, and you can get a visa for 3 to 5 years. I think I got the 5-year visa.
What's the
I gotta look at it, but I don't have to renew it for another 4 years.
Okay, and there are some African countries.
Margaret.
There's about 10 that allow you to
Sheena
go
too.
across borders without having to
Right.
go through the process.
Yep, exactly.
So,
That's why we might go to a couple neighboring countries since we're going to have the passports to go. You know, just the visas just to check them out.
right, okay.
But we'll have to talk because I really want to. I want to go to Tanzania. You ever been there?
Now, I've been to Tanzania, just Ghana.
Yeah. I've been to Ghana and Kenya. Kenya is.
Kenya's supposed to be picking up us as well. That's where I want to try to go next.
Well, I didn't like Kenya. I didn't like Nairobi. It was very third worldish. It had this smell that I still can't get out of my nose. I don't know what the smell was. I don't know what they was burning. And Nairobi, but we could talk about it offline. But I mean, I think you should experience it, but I wouldn't go there and buy nothing. The country's beautiful there.
Yeah, I was in 5 provinces in Ghana.
Yeah, Ghana.
I was looking into doing Ghana specifically. That was something that definitely interested me, was doing some real estate stuff over there. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah, well, we should talk about that.
Absolutely. That's pretty cool, Ron, that you actually, you did it. You already, I already commend that, man. And even you too, Margaret, you already on your way. So that's cool, man. That's exciting. Let me what Shan is doing, he's saying he wish he would have did it earlier. No, sometimes you can do stuff when it's not appropriate, but it's time now because things are shifting.
Mm-hmm.
The systems are collapsing, and we're waking up. So as a collective, as a collective, we got to be a mountain ranges and not mountains.
Right.
And it's still cheap over there, guys. Right. Before the dollar collapses, now's the time.
What was the exchange rate when you went, the last time you went?
Ghana, it was 15 to 1. It was 15. And Nairobi was 26 to 1. So cheaper than Kenya. Kenya, we got a little more for our money.
Yeah, as long as you're dealing with the $100 bills.
We want the $100 crisp dollar bills. That was the weirdest thing. Was it like that then? They want new bills, new crispy bills. Yeah. Like, what is that about? You get more returns for the $100 bills versus the 520s. The larger the bill, you get a better exchange rate. Right, and the newer the bills. Right. And I'm not sure why. I have to find out. I'm going to inquire about that a little bit more. Right. So that was saying that as far as what's the plans for tomorrow? You gonna be available tomorrow to talk?
Yeah, you call me. No doubt. Yeah.
And because like you said, it's all about the land, man. Everything you see above, below, and on the land, that's where the wealth is.
It's right in our face. That's what's so crazy. Like this whole time, you know, I'm living, I'm like, dang, this thing been right in my face, like in everybody's face. We walk around, when you walk and look down, dang, I'm walking on somebody's land. The county land, the city land, the landlord's land, Walmart land, somebody on this land I'm walking on. And it's money. It's making them money, you know.
Every business that's above land has a triple net lease.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want some bug out land. I really want some in the mountains, but after what happened in the mountains, I'm kind of leery.
No, if you pay attention to the towns that had those situations, they were all pretty much sundown.
I know.
But
sometimes you're looking at this land, I don't know if it's sundown or not, because I've been seeing some nice land in Rutherford County, and it's, you know, you can use it for any use. It seems really nice, and it's very affordable, but I just don't know about the mountain stuff.
Pay attention to all the 3L companies, all the logistical companies that are popping up throughout wherever you located. Because if you go through Highway 16 from Savannah to Texas, they build on a lot of logistical companies because everything has to be moved by trucks. So like Shan was saying, you buy the land and then they're planning to build within that corridor. You go on the land, they put the warehouse on top, they got to pay the pipe.
Yep, they got to come see you.
So you pay attention to airports, you pay attention to ports, logistical companies, railroad tracks, and that'll pretty much tell you, because one thing about municipalities and counties, they have to do a 25-year plan. So what you see now, they planned like 20 years ago, and now you're just seeing everything manifest.
Yeah.
All cities have to do a 25-year plan. That's why when they have public meetings, they want to see who's going to give them resistance. And they know 40 years, according to scripture, is a generation. So if they do a 25-year plan and they're acquiring the land, they know certain people going to die out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You can actually go down and look at the plan, the development plan, ask them, can you see it?
Right.
It's really neat to look at, too.
That's why I be telling y'all, patience. These people got patience. If we had that 25-year patience, 40-year patience, we straight.
Let me answer this question, Sam. Just imagine every Sunday, what's the most segregated hour if we stop taking that money and putting it in their banks and take that money and put it in land? You follow what I'm saying?
Yeah, I say that all the time. I say
we take that money and go land. You control the area.
Yeah, yeah. We
take the money on Sunday, and then Monday morning we take it right back across the tracks or whatever you want to say it as. Then when you try to go and get a loan, they tell you you're not qualified.
Yep. And I'm telling you, like I did a video early. And y'all know my mouth, so I'll say it since you don't want to say it. We taking our money, we putting it in these churches and religious organizations, which I'm not talking against anybody, religion or anything like that. And these religious organizations taking that money that we gave them and go putting it in these banks. And when we go say, oh, I'm a member of so-and-so church, we've got a lot of money in here, they're going to look at you like you crazy. They're going to say, do you have good credit? Do you have collateral? It don't matter that you gave that church or religious organization $5,000, $1,000, $10,000 that year. It don't matter. They want to see your credit. You could have took your own money, go invest in your own family, okay? And I'm not saying not to give to your church or organization. I'm not saying that. But we have to start waking up and realizing what's for us and what's actually against us. A lot of things we think has been for us, it's been working against us. From public schools to working jobs to universities. These things are actually working against you. I did a video earlier. Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. You spend 10,000 to, well, not 10,000. That's, you spend $100,000 to go get a degree, a bachelor's degree in whatever, a master's degree, $20,000, whatever it costs these days, right? You still have to go find a job.
Right, no guarantee.
You still have to go find a job. Then once you find a job, you still have to get up and go to work on that job. So why not take that $10,000, $100,000 and go buy you a piece of land, cultivate and do what you need to do on that land so the land pays you, whether you get up and go clock in or not. And I was telling a story about a doctor that I knew when I lived in Texas. He quit his practice because it was building storage companies like crazy, and he took his daddy's land and built a storage company. And never worked another day in his life. He was sitting in the office because I had rented some storage space from him, and he was telling me his story. And he was sitting behind the office with his feet kicked up half the time, dozing off. And I said, dang, man, you a whole doctor for real? And he showed me the picture with his things. And when he was a doctor, he have all this doctor knowledge in his brain and not using any of it. He said he made more money sitting on his butt renting storage to people than all the money he would have made being a doctor. And he said one of the reasons he quit because of the lawsuits. A lot of people don't talk about it, but these doctors get sued a lot.
Yeah, malpractice suits.
Yeah. Whether they right or wrong, they get sued a lot. And he was like, man, this, and that was a sign back then. But I don't know the how to get land. The things I'm talking about right now, I didn't have no clue about back then. No clue about it back then. But now that I found it, I'm like, dang, this, everybody could do it. If I could do it, anybody can do this. I am not the smartest guy by far. I'm not the smartest guy by far. When I didn't have a clue, I stumbled upon this out of desperation. Out of desperation is how I found out about any of this. I was desperate and I had nothing to lose. I was already homeless, living in my truck, or houseless, however you want to say it. I had somewhere to live, but I was living in my truck. I had nothing else to lose. So I took a chance and I'm like, I'll be doggone. I bought a piece of land for $350 down. I couldn't believe it. And that same land today, when I look it up, it's worth like $80,000. I bought it for like $9,000. The guy sold it to gave me $16,000. I walked away with like $4,500 after closing. And right now, when I look it up, that land worth like $80,000, and this is just 2017. If I'd have kept it to now, I'd have been able to cash out $80,000 if I wanted to. I went and bought the same piece of land few years ago, but this time in Bronson, Florida. That first piece of land was in Clewiston, Florida. So now I bought the same piece of land, an acre and a quarter in Bronson, Florida. I paid, me and Keith paid like $14,000-15,000 for it, and now it's worth like $30,000. You know, so just the equity alone is like, it's an amazing thing. Equity is brutal, man. This thing is real. And like I say, some people might say, oh, you know, I could have took 10,000 and I could have flipped it. It's not, when you start talking about that, it's not guaranteed. I used to flip cars. I used to buy cars for $200, $300, $400, $500 and sell them for $2,000. Go to the auction, all that stuff. It's not guaranteed. What I'm talking about is something guaranteed, secure your future. Okay? Secure your future, guaranteed. Somewhere to live, somewhere to grow food, somewhere to have a business on. Okay, you still hustle, you still sell cars, you still work a job, you still do what you do for income until the land starts making you money. Right? You still do these things, but what we don't realize is that you have to park your money somewhere that is secure, and the most secure thing will be here 100, 200 years from now is land. If you make all your money in the stock market and you keep all you might have $100 billion in the stock market and you don't own no land nowhere, you got to be the dumbest person on the planet. Oh, I don't want no land when my money gonna keep flipping on the stock market. Yeah, that's true, but
it's only paper that loses value.
That's not something tangible. That's not. You could the stock market might go up for 50 years. In that 51st year, completely collapse. Now your 100 million is probably 100,000. You have to have something physical and tangible, but not just that. The most tangible thing, artwork. Let's say artwork. You could put an artwork, buy artwork. Guess what? A fire could happen. You say, I'm a hide it in a bank vault. Somebody could go in there and steal it. Y'all, we watch movies all the time where they steal artwork. I know a dude got a bunch of artwork in his house right now. He said, I ain't worrying about it. I got insurance. I mean, these are things people invest in, and I'm not knocking it. But what I see is going to be here when I'm dead and gone. Been here before I was here is land. And I'm not interested. I'm not knocking it, but I'm not interested in buying any artwork. I do invest in cryptocurrency and stocks, but the thing that I don't mind buying forever is land. Because I see it's not going anywhere. You cannot steal it. You cannot if you could make more of it, I would say okay. But you cannot make any more of it. It's not going anywhere. Nobody talking about that. Nobody's talking about it. And now Africa been destituted for hundreds of years, but now it's about to be a superpower. So it's coming right back. So whereas, Africa used to be the superpower of the world, now it's been destituted for hundreds of years, but it's making a full circle. It's coming back. So anybody that has been investing in Africa in the past 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years, within the next 10, 30, 40, 50 years, about to make a killing. Patience. Not to say you haven't been working, you haven't been hustling. You have to do both. You have to do both. But once your land start making you money, you don't have to do a bunch of crazy stuff. You just be making money on your land. Nobody's talking about it. All the resources come out the land. You get your food from the land. When you drive in your car, you driving on land. You live off the land. Your house, wherever you live, apartment building, a condo, a house, it's sitting on some land. These glasses I'm wearing came out the land. Your clothes, this cotton grows from the land. I mean, it's amazing that it's right in front of our eyes, but we cannot see it. We buy everything but land. We go buy clothes, shoes, liquor. We go buy vacations. We go buy suits. We go buy cars. We go buy houses. We buy everything but land. It was a time that was the flex. That was the flex. How much land you got? You know. Now, past 50 years, nobody even thinking about it or talking about it. It's what kind of car you got, a BMW, a Mercedes, what clothes you got, Louis Versace, what purse, oh, you got a Gucci purse, girl, a Louis purse. That's the flex now. It's crazy. It used to be a time, you know, grandpa, grandma was buying up all the land, you know.
Yes, it was.
Yeah, there used to be a time like that. They say, you know, we're gonna buy the land and build our house on it. Now, these generations now, we don't talk about it. We got to get back to that, at least in our families. We got to get back to that where it's that's the flex in our family. You know, we got to make it cool again. We got to make buying land cool again. And it's cheap. My thing is, it's so cheap. $200, $300, $400, $500, $1,000 down. That's my thing. No credit. No, that's my thing. If it was something expensive or you have to do backflips to get it, I'd be like, well, you know, but it's the easiest thing. Once you realize it cannot be physically stolen, if you do the paperwork right, it cannot even be stolen on paper. Once you realize these things, you see it's the easiest asset and the best asset to acquire. Not the house, the land. Remember, you could always build a house on it. You pay off the land, you leverage that money to a builder. Say, hey, if you build this house, you know, we split the money or I pay you back. If I don't, hey, you own the land and the house. Yeah. I'm telling you. It's the easiest thing is land, man, and nobody is teaching it. No, like very few of us is teaching it. Everybody's telling you buy a house, flip it, rent it out, buy crypto stocks. All that stuff is good. It's I'm not talking against any of that. But everybody, I would say everybody, every man, woman, and child right now should own 1 acre of land. Whether you sit on it or not, you should just have it. Whether you live in an apartment, renting, or not. I don't care what your other situation is in life. You should be able to say, oh yeah, I have my land. Just like everybody could say they got a pair of Jordans. You know, most people could say they have a pair or they have had a pair of Jordans in their life. You should be able to say, I got a piece of land over here. I got mine.
Because I guess the construction loan is different than a mortgage. Correct.
Well, what it is, that's true too. But what it is you have to think about land is the biggest collateral. Anybody ever been to jail or know somebody been to jail and the first thing they tell you is, do you have any what?
Collateral.
Property. That's the first thing they ask. Do you have any property? Oh, because you could leverage that and get your loved ones out of jail or yourself out of jail. And they don't even be asking how much it's worth. They just say, do you have any? Anybody ever experienced that? Yeah. Property. They want your property. They know the value of land, property. That's the first thing they ask you. You ever go to jail or know anybody? That used to be the way to get out of jail. It wasn't no money you had to pay. You had to put your land up. Yeah. You had to put your land up to get out of jail.
So what's the difference between a construction loan and a mortgage?
See, the thing with it's not, they call it a construction loan. I call it a builder's loan. When I really learned what is going on, I call it a builder's loan. Now, they have construction loans. Let me rephrase that. You get a builder's loan, construction loan, or a mortgage. Mortgage is, you know, you buy a house. The bank pay for it, and you pay the bank back. Construction loan is you go borrow the money to build the house. That also is the bank. You pay the bank back. The builder's loan is you don't need no money. The builder come in with his own materials, his own workers, his own laborers, all of that. You could call toll.
Just pay him for the work.
No, you don't pay him nothing. You call Toll Brothers, you call Lehman Brothers, you tell them you got some land down here you want to develop, you want them to build a house on it. They come check it out. They build one house, survey it out, sell it. Y'all split the profit. You keep doing it over and over. You might have 10 acres of land, 2 acres of land. They figure out how many houses you could put. That first house work out straight, you build another one and another. That's how a lot of these subdivisions are built.
Okay, I was thinking about, what about if you was looking to buy some property to live on yourself? You buy the property to, build someone to build a house on it.
Well, you'd have to pay the builder back. You would have to pay the builder back if you're gonna live on it. But like I always say, don't fall asleep. Don't fall in love with any house or any property. Don't fall in love with it. Okay? Fall in love after you've made enough money to say, I got the money, I got the land, I got the house. But if you fall in love with the first house, you stagnate in your money. You got to sell that first house, make some money, go build another house, till you made so much money, you could go buy that first house back from who you sold it to. I don't know if
what if you was just trying to, because I was just thinking specifically like just buying the land, because I get what you're saying about like, making, using the land to gain capital.
Correct.
I'm thinking about, what if you just was trying to buy some land to live on it?
Yeah,
strictly.
You could do that.
It would just be so you're just saying with that agreement, you would get a builder's loan, and then you would use the land for collateral, and you would pay the builder strictly for that construction of that house, which is a lot cheaper, which is a lot better than a mortgage.
Yeah, what you do, and hopefully by then your house done built equity, your land done built equity. So you might buy a piece of land for $30,000, been paying on it 5-10 years, whatever, pay it off. By the time you finish paying it off, it's worth $50,000, $80,000. Okay, you go to a builder, hey, I got this land paid off, look at my deed, it's worth $50,000. I want you to build me this house. I want you to build me $150,000 house, right? He would do it, he or she would do it instantly. Now, some gonna play a game, oh no, you need this and that and the other. No, they gonna do it, okay? They gonna do it. They don't need no credit from you or nothing. The land is the collateral, okay? Because now, once they finish building the house, if you don't pay them back, or y'all sell the house, split the profit, they take the land, because you got to sign a contract. Hey, if you don't pay them back, they take the land. Now they got the land and the house. They sell everything and make all the money.
So, but they wouldn't use like if you're just doing it strictly for a residential, just for you to live there, a builder's not going to do a 30-year agreement, correct?
Nah, they would make you go get a loan from a bank. The builders is like a short-term thing, like 6 months after they finish building. You have 6 months to pay them back, or a year to pay them back, something like that. Now you do have some builders that are becoming banks, like Lehman Brothers. They're becoming banks, so they're offering their own mortgages to people.
Yeah, the builders do a construction loan for the construction of the home, and at the closing, it converts over to a regular mortgage loan, probably a 30-year, or if you want a 20, but it starts off as a construction loan. And then it rolls over. They'll tell you that it'll roll over unless it's like Shane saying it'll go to if they're financing it themselves, but that doesn't happen a lot.
Gotcha. So that's why you have to find the specific company that will do that, because they will have all that in house and they'll roll it over. And
or you can go to a bank and you can say I want to build, and they will give you a construction loan. At the end of the construction, it converts over to a mortgage. So banks do the same thing.
Because I'm thinking a lot of banks would act funny when they say, "Oh, this is a single family for the owner." They were like, "Oh, I don't like that."
No, they don't do that. They know that people build.
Because I'm thinking of the strategy of getting a property, getting some land. That's getting the land owner finance, making a down payment, right? Because sometimes you might not. Let's say the property doesn't come with the deed while I'm making the payments, right? Now, I'm aware that I can still find a construction company that will still look at the land and then build on that property and then agree to the terms of a 30-year or 20-year payment strictly for the house. Because
you got to look at it different depending on where you're at. You got tier 1 banks, tier 2 banks, tier 3 banks, and credit unions. Then you have financial institutions that you can go to depending on what's going on in the area. So it's not one answer for everything. It depends on what you're doing and where you're starting out. So you got different types of banks out there. You don't want to go to a tier 1 bank. That's like your city banks, the big boys. You don't want to deal with them for your first time house because they're going to require a lot of things. They're going to have you so tight that when you sneeze, you're going to hurt. Start out with a credit union, a financial authority for that county, different things like that. They're a little bit more lenient because they want to build affordable housing.
And they're a little bit more eager for that type of loan. They're a little bit more thirsty for that type of loan.
Well, some banks, they have to give money back to certain communities. So that's part of their requirements. So like community banks, they'll be a little bit more lenient in helping you finance your first time home buyers and all that kind of program. So if you got money in your 401k, you can be your own contractor depending on where you're at, as long as you're doing one store. Some municipalities require you to hire a general contractor. Some will allow you to be the contractor and you sub out, but you got to know what you're doing.
Okay, because specifically I'm looking at doing this in Brunswick County, North Carolina.
So start out with your building department to find out the requirements and see what they say on that particular piece of property. You can get your blueprints if you got an acre or whatever.
I'll be right back in, guys. I'll be right back in.
So it all depends on